What's going on, boys? No guys here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, well, as a menu streamer, we got the review, the player review, SPC review, should I say, of Kyle Walker. I'm just going to tell you straight to the point: is he worth it and is he not? And we have Werner as well, so I'm going to go through them, tell you if they're worth it. And I'll be honest, if you want the player reviews, I think Inception always will have a player review on them. But let's be realistic, you don't need a player review on a player. First one we have is Kyle Walker. A card that I've always used, traditionally speaking, in centre back. This year I kind of strayed away from it because the agility and balance was the problem. But let's see if EA did make a fix for that. But that was always a problem that I had with Walker. Agility and balance was never the best, but he was still a top tier centre back. So 6 foot, high. Perfect for a left back and a right back. Does like the shooting. We'll get on to that again. 3-star skill moves, 2-star weak foot. Would I play him as a left wing back and a right wing back? If you want him on as a defensive player, okay. But I think if you're going to get this card, you're going to see him more as a centre back, and that is it, as opposed to a left back and right back. I think there's Cancelo, other players that you can get that are much better. Going over to the traits, so he's got long throwing. No, the traits. Don't forget, dribbler, CPU, AI means nothing. That means only when the CPU is controlling it. Let's say like squad battles and you're playing a computer, if that makes sense. The attribute details, of course, got the really good maximum sprint speed, almost the max, almost at 99. He's got the shooting as well. Now, the big thing that with him is that, don't forget, finishing is only important inside the box. For every shot that's taken outside the box, so let's say on the penalty arc. So let's say, for example, over here. So I could just choose, for example, I'm just going to choose any player over here and show you an example. So on foot bin over here, you see the penalty arc over here. If shots are taken outside the penalty arc, it only takes into account long shots and shot power composed of all that. So finishing doesn't make a difference. So if you want to score long shots with him, you can on his right foot. Does have the weaker left foot. Hasn't got the best long shots though. Good passing, I think that's important. Not the best. I wish he had much higher passing in my opinion. I think maybe towards 88s, but passing is decent. Can cross the ball, of course. Not the best of vision. That's probably the downside. Curve, not so good either. Don't forget now this year, curve influence shooting. His dribbling. Now this is what I would say has made him worth it. The agility and balance now 81, 84. In contrast, his normal gold card. It was a good centre back, but I think problem was people using agile dribbling to match up man for man. You need someone that can actually keep up. And problem is Walker was almost too slow, so someone can literally just agile dribble past you because running jockey was affected. But now with that agility and balance boost, even just to 80 is good enough for the play. But don't forget, he's not too tall as well, 6 foot, so he can still move. Got the defensive awareness, an amazing stand tackling, slide tackling, good defending stats, and he's got the physicality stats, got the jumping, stamina, strength, and aggression. I'd probably say maybe I'll still go towards the anchor just to get the sprint speed to 99, get that acceleration. I think that's important. Excuse me. Get that get all those stats up. But I think apart from that, let's see how much it costs though. 83, 84, and 86. No. Yeah, you are joking. 84, 86. Problem is, that is a lot of money. You're talking around about, that's like 600k if I'm not mistaken. Am I not? If I'm not wrong. I think that's an absolute ludicrous amount of money to pay for Kyle Walker. I mean, I wouldn't pay for him. Just double checking his price right now. An 86. You see what an 86 rated squad is. So the way I do this, by the way, on Footbin, you just go to like any one of these, like let's say Serie A guaranteed team of the season, and then you can see what the 86 rated are. You can also get like you know, you can also let's see if there's a cheap player that we can quickly check over here. Let's look at one of the icons. It's one of these icon SBC. So let's go look at Capita, for example. So you can see, look, an A6 rated squad's 200k. Okay, so maybe. Okay, so hang on. Yeah, so maybe. Okay, maybe not as high as initially thought. So an 86, 83, and 84. So 86. Okay, so you're talking about around about 400k. Let's just say 400k. I still think it's a lot of money in my opinion. I think you can get someone like Wan-Bissaka for a cheaper amount. And I think Wan-Bissaka is not only a better centre back, you can all use a better left back and right back. So the issue is, go ahead and get someone like Wan-Bissaka. He's tradable. Going to be a better centre back anyway. Wan-Bissaka got the better agility and balance. And I think with an anchor, you're better just getting Wan-Bissaka. So I would say, in my opinion, get Wan-Bissaka. Don't bother doing Walker unless you're a Man City fan. I'd probably definitely stray away from it. And the other card we do have is Werner. So we do have the Werner. Timo Werner. which is the card that I wanted Foden, but for Man City. But anyway, 4-star, high, medium. The one thing wrong with this card was agility and balance wasn't the best. We'll have a look at that as well. Traits, no traits. Exact same thing with Walker. They're going into his stats itself. He's got the sprint speed, acceleration, got the finishing, shot power on long shots, and attack positioning. So his finishing is fine. Short passing is really good. Long passing is a bit meh. I would like that to be at least 70, 75-ish, to be honest. Especially that vision. I know he's a striker, but the dribbling is decent, but the balance really lets it down. And the fact, don't forget, he's 5'11", so you do need at least, I would say, minimum 85 balance for a striker. Minimum, in my opinion. I mean, you can get away with him if you want, if you're a Chelsea fan, but if you're talking about liquid gameplay, you want him to move smoothly, especially in bad gameplay, you need to have that agility and balance. Those are the heading accuracy, and he's got the physicality. He hasn't really got the best of his strength and aggression, but he can still do that role very, very well. Again, let's have a look at how much he cost. I think, again, it's going to be another 83, 85, 86. So around about the same thing. And the problem is, for that kind of money, there's so many other cards you can buy instead that it really just makes it not worth it. If we're looking at, I mean, to be honest, even if we're going to look at Walker for a second over here, right? We're going to look at Walker over here. Walker, I mean, this card is 190k. If I was to just get this Walker instead, I think, you know, it's a difference. But if you really want Walker, just get this one instead, in my opinion. Put a shadow on him. The agility is a bit low. That I agree. I'd rather just get Wan-Bissaka. That's that Suarez card. He's too slow. But you can see Werner, it's not really worth it. You're better off, like, there's so many other cards you can buy in the Premier League. Premier League has got an abundance of cards. And I agree that everyone's going to be not on the same price. But he hasn't got a 5-star weak foot or something. But for that kind of price you're talking about, you could get for birthday Raheem Sterling. You could get that. I'm trying to see who else is really, really worth it here. Is anyone that really that's got a 5? This season got a 5-star weak foot that might be really worth it. That might really push the value of Werner. So I mean, yeah, there isn't really that many, to be fair. So yeah, so there isn't really anyone like this. I mean, you could get Headliner's Son. Maybe you can argue Headliner's Son will be better than Werner, in my opinion, just for the 5-star weak foot. So that's the issue with some of these SBCs, that although they look like they're good value, in my opinion. I mean, you can get any of, like, you know, the team of the season cards. You can even get a Dharma. You can go ahead and get a Dharma instead of. I'll be honest, just go ahead and get a Dharma, to be honest. I wouldn't even waste my time, to be honest. I know he hasn't got the best reactions, but yeah, if you're looking for a clinical finisher, I mean, yes, Werner has that, but even like Jamie Vardy, for example, Vardy would be, I think, a direct replacement, because someone like Vardy, like, if you compare him, look, hasn't got the agility and balance, don't get me wrong, but he's got the shooting and the finishing. And the benefit is you can always just put an engine on this guy or a finisher, and you can just have a tradable variation, whereas you put Werner, you're basically stuck with him. But that is my take on that. Even, yeah, any of these other cards will be better off than him, but that's kind of my take. I would still get someone like Neymar gold card ahead of him. So is he a decent card? He's not bad. But I think for the kind of money you're paying, I wouldn't really spend that much, in my opinion. That's kind of my take on Werner. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.